This is secret recorded footage of a meeting between a secret FBI agent and Anna Chapman. Anna Chapman is one of the 10 spies arrested in the United States for carrying espionage activities for the Russian Federation. This whole operation by the FBI to capture these spies was labeled Operation Ghost Stories, and it's what we'll cover today. So who are these spies, and were they successful in their mission in the United States? In the shadowy world of espionage, Russia has long sought to outmaneuver the United States. In the 2000s, their ambitions led to a bold plan, building a network of spies deep within American society. These agents, living double lives, aimed to gather critical intelligence without a trace, but their clandestine operation met its match. Enter Operation Ghost Stories, a decade-long FBI counterintelligence mission that culminated on June 27, 2010, with the dramatic arrest of 10 Russian spies who had seamlessly blended invisibly into the fabric of American society. The game of cat and mouse was over, and the fallout was nothing short of explosive. These spies were arrested for allegedly carrying out long-term deep cover assignments in the United States on behalf of the Russian Federation. The FBI believed these spies were working to find sources within all with access to US policy-making circles. The agents were known as illegals because they were not operating out of Russian embassies or military missions. These illegals assumed false identities to hide their real ones. For instance, one spy whose real name was Adil Bezrukov went by the name Donald Heathfield while in the USA. However, when the FBI did their research, the real Donald Heathfield was a man from Canada who had died a few years back. For these spies, they lived ordinary middle-class lives. They got married, had children, attended college, and obtained jobs, all while secretly gathering government secrets for Russian foreign intelligence. So, who are these spies? This successful FBI operation led to the capture of several Russian operatives. One of them was Anna Chapman. For Anna Chapman, her youth and good looks made her the face of the spy saga when it became public knowledge. Her real name was Anna Vasilyeviana and had moved to New York in 2009. To her friends, she was a realtor, and her LinkedIn account she listed herself as the CEO of Property Finder LLC, a website dealing in real estate sales. Anatolevich Vasenkov and Vicky Pelaez. Both of them lived as a couple and had a son together. Anatolev went by the name Joan Lazaro. According to the FBI, the real Joan Lazaro was a boy from Uruguay who had died at age 3. Anatolevich went ahead to build a persona using this boy's birth certificate. On April 6, 2022, the Foreign Intelligence Service of the Russian Federation announced Vasenkov's death, saying he was 79 years old. Our announcement gave no cause of his death. Adil Bezrukov and Yelena Verovirova, both of these spies operated under the stolen Canadian identities of Donald Heathfield and Tracy Lee Anafore. By the time of the arrest, the couple had 2 sons, aged 16 and 20. When questioned, the sons alleged they never knew their parents were living under false identities. Vladimir and Lydia Guruyev. Vladimir and Lydia, identified as Richard and Cynthia Murphy. This couple was arrested at their home at 31 McCoy Road in Montclair, New Jersey. By the time of the arrest, they had 2 daughters, aged 11 and 9. Both used false birth certificates. Vladimir claiming he was born in Philadelphia and wife in New York. According to detectives, the couple was tasked with obtaining information about US policy in Afghanistan, the nuclear program of Iran, and the latest strategic arms reduction treaty talks. Mikhail Kutsik and Natalia Pelzvelevza. Both of these spies went by the fake names Michael Zotori and Patricia Mills. Kutsik came in the USA in 2001 and Natalia in 2003. They lived as a couple and had children together. Kutsik claimed to be an American, Natalia from Canada. However, their neighbors found it odd as they said Natalia sounded Yugoslavian. The couple first settled in Seattle but later went to live in Arlington, Virginia. They were accused of spying for the Russian Federation since 2004. Michael Semenko. Unlike other spies, Semenko used his real name. Michael Semenko went to school and received graduate degrees while in the USA. Michael Semenko is fluent in English, Mandarin, Russian, and Spanish. Semenko fell into the radar of the FBI as it was discovered he was utilizing a private network while in a restaurant to send information to a Russian official who had parked outside. This car remained in the parking lot for 20 minutes and drove away. Afterwards, Semenko can be seen leaving the restaurant. Later on, we'll learn how a private network works. Others are Christopher Metzos, whose real name was Pavel Kapustin, who acted as a courier distributing money and resources to the spies. For example, on March that one 2002, Christopher Metsos and Richard Murphy were recorded having a meeting at Sunside Restaurant. Metsos is seen giving Murphy a bag containing $4,000 as compensation for Murphy's work on behalf of Russia. Also, the same two individuals can be spotted on April 17, 2005 meeting at the same restaurant. Here Murphy was given an ATM card and a pin that was to be used for money withdrawal. These spies were adept at passing information. However, all their tactics were unearthed by the FBI. For these spies, if not using old techniques like invisible ink to pass information, they could make use of cryptographic softwares to hide messages in digital images posted casually on the internet. This is one of the images captured by the FBI. The hidden messages can be removed from the image and then decrypted using Russian provided software. One such software was discovered when the FBI raided one of the illegal houses. This software was protected using a 27 characters password, which would make it guessing it way hard. However, when the FBI got their hands on the software and the password during the raid, they were able to read hidden communication. Such evidence was used to incriminate the spies. The spies also made use of private wireless networks to communicate, a secretive way used by even intelligence services to pass information. So this is how a private network operates. A laptop is configured to create its own private wireless local area network. The wireless network on this computer is only programmed to communicate with another specific laptop based on its media access control address. For example, on January 2010, a video surveillance on a coffee shop located near the intersection of 47th Street and 8th Avenue of Manhattan, New York, captured Anna Chapman in the same area with an individual who had, on multiple occasions, was observed entering a Russian mission to the United Nations. When surveilling her, the law enforcement agent utilized a tool that can easily detect the presence of wireless networks in a certain area. And on March 17, 2010, Anna Chapman was captured by a video surveillance on a bookstore located in the vicinity of Greenwich and Warren Streets in Manhattan. Inside the bookstore was Anna, and the Russian government official was across the street from the bookstore holding a briefcase. And if you think these were the only methods these spies used to pass information, you are wrong. For example, in this footage, one Christopher R. Metsos and Russian government official were captured by surveillance doing what's called a brush pass. That's a secretive hand-to-hand delivery of items or payments, made as one person walks past another in a public space. In this footage, the two gentlemen Metsos and the Russian government official were each carrying identical orange bags, and they converged on the middle of the staircase at the Forest Hills train station and quickly exchanged the bags as each of them went different ways. All this was done without speaking to one another. On another instance, Christopher Metsos was secretly handed money in New York by a Russian government official. Metsos buried some of the money in upstate New York. 2 years later, this money was dug up by him for use by the spies. By June 2010, the spy ring was in the crosshairs of intelligence units, ready to be dismantled. On June 26, 2010, an undercover agent contacted Chapman by phone. The two arranged to meet up at a coffee shop. The undercover agent handed her a fake US passport, telling her she was to deliver the document to another illegal, a tiny detail that pinned Anna as one of the Russian informants. All throughout, the undercover agent was recording their interaction. At first, they spoke Russian. However, the undercover agent requests whether they could switch to English to draw less attention from themselves. Anna Chapman handed her laptop so that he could fix some technical problems it had. This was the same laptop that Chapman had been using for secretive communication with the Russian government officials. After getting their hands on this laptop, the law enforcement ran through forensics on it. With this evidence, the US government was able to build a case on Anna Chapman. After Anna Chapman left the coffee shop, she went to Brooklyn, where she bought a cell phone under the name Irene Kutsov, where she carelessly tossed these phone receipts in a dustbin, from which the FBI retrieved it. Afterwards, Anna Chapman is recorded calling her father, who now holds a position in the Ministry of Foreign Affairs in Russia. It's in this call she explained the intriguing scenario she had come across. With that, her father advised her to report to the police with a passport Ali had handed her to show good faith. When Anna Chapman arrived at one of the police stations in Lower Manhattan, the FBI agent soon arrived and arrested her. Semenko met with one of the undercover agents on June 26, 2010. The agent gave Semenko a folded newspaper. Inside was an envelope that had $5,000. The undercover agent told Semenko he had to go and do a dead drop of the parcel in a park in Arlington by the following day. On June 26, 2010, the FBI installed video surveillance cameras in the vicinity of the drop site. The footage recorded by those cameras displays Semenko removing the newspaper concealing the envelope which had $5,000 handed over to him the previous day. Semenko was arrested at his residence in Arlington, Virginia, in a suburb of Washington, D.C. later that day. Kutsik and Perizverezeva were arrested on June 27, 2010 at the Arlington, Virginia home. As of July 6, 2010, federal and local prosecutors were seeking for a rapid conclusion to the case. This was to prevent the overexposure of how the FBI did their investigation. The 10 illegals were charged with conspiracy to act as unregistered agents of a foreign government, a violation of Section 951, Title 18 United States Code. Notably, you can see they are not being charged for their role as spies, but as illegals. They were also charged with conspiracy to commit money laundering. The US government struck a deal with the arrested spies where they were to plead guilty and be deported back to Russia. In exchange, Russia would deport 4 spies caught in Russia. The hearing of the case was held at a federal court in Manhattan on July 8, 2010. All the spies pled guilty of working as illegal agents for the Russian government. As per the deal, these illegal agents were to reveal their true Russian identity, of which they did except for Vicky Pelai's prisoner swap. On July 8, 2010, President Barack Obama approved the swap deal. This would lead to the release of Russian spies in the US. In return, the Russian Federation would release 4 individuals who they had imprisoned for being agents of espionage. The swap of the prisoners occurred at the tarmac of Vienna International Airport, with one airplane arriving from the United States and the other from Russia. This was one of the largest prisoner swaps between 2 countries since the Cold War, and highlighted ongoing tensions between USA and Russian intelligence operations, even decades after the Cold War. The following days after the swap, various intelligence sources in Russia stated that the swapped prisoners would undergo rigorous tests. This was to establish whether one of them was acting as a double agent. After the tests, Russia came to the conclusion none of them acted as a double agent. In July 2010, the then President Dmitry Medvedev recognized the 10 Russian spies deported from the USA for their intelligence services in a ceremony held at Kremlin. Operation Ghost Story is a true reflection of the lengths one country can go to collect much information about its adversaries. And in this scenario, this operation exposed vulnerabilities and reshaped counterintelligence strategies, proving that even in our digital age, the art of espionage is alive and evolving. With that, it's important for countries to put efforts on counterintelligence to protect their national security. Even though the Russian spies were well prepared all from the start and funded by the Russian Federation, the FBI stated that they did not manage to get their hands on any classified document. So, although the FBI refutes, do you think the illegals might have gotten crucial information for the Russian Federation? How do you think? Are there more hidden spies among us today? Let us know in the comments. If you enjoyed uncovering this incredible story, don't forget to like this video and subscribe to our channel for more fascinating tales of intrigue and mystery. Until next time, stay curious.